DBS community, welcome back to another video here with Chris, and today we're going to be going over the new black starter deck that's coming out with set 22, which is going to be Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. So it's a very, very cool leader. A lot of people have been, I would say, we were very sad, people who play black in Dragon Ball, we were very sad. Didn't know if we were going to be getting an actual black leader. If this was actually going to be the only black leader, then we ended up getting Fu. So now we have two really good leaders to go in the next set with, which is very awesome. It's a very good time to be someone who plays black in this game. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. As always, we're going to go through the archetype, the very small archetype that we have for this, and then a deck that we're going to kind of go over. Now, this leader has a multitude of ways of building it. And I'm probably going to do some deck building videos on this. It might just end up being one really long video, because there's so many different variations of this deck that you can build, because it has the Vegito tag and not Vegito Xeno or anything else like that. So it's a lot of things you can use when building this. So we're going to kind of keep it basic here today and just go over the basic build of what you can potentially be using when you're playing this deck. So on the Unawakened side, we are Son Goku and Vegeta. Activate main, search top 5 for any black Saiyan that costs 6 or less. This is very good, again, being able to draw without attacking, pretty powerful. And you awaken at 4 life, or if you have 2 or more energy and you have a black My Future Z battle card in play, you are a restand 1, draw 1, and take life down to 6. So this is like a traditional leader, which is why I think this deck is actually gonna be really good, is because this is a traditional leader. Every single leader in this set is a draw 2 awaken, which isn't the greatest, especially like when it comes to these decks. Essentially they want you to awaken early. That's kind of the concept of it, but with this leader, you can awaken on turn 3 or turn 4 or whatever, and you can always have that extra energy to be able to utilize. So there's really no downside to staying unawakened, because you're just drawing. Right, when you're able to cycle almost the entirety of your deck. So now on the awakened side, this leader is very, very cool. So Super Saiyan Vegito, Shining Warrior. Auto, if you have a final Kamehameha in your battle area, when you activate a Union skill, you draw 1. So any Union skill that you activate, whether it's Union Patora or Union Fusion, you will draw. And then when this card attacks, draw 1. Then activate main, choose it to one of your black Vegito cards, and it gets 5k for the turn. So this could be your leader, this could be a battle card. It's very good, right? It could be a Z battle card, I guess, right? So leader is pretty generic. It works with both unions, which is nice. Then you can kind of build a more Union Patora route. You can build a more Union Fusion route. Just kind of depends on what you want to do, and there's a lot of different ways of building this deck, like I said. So first thing is the final Kamehameha. This is the Z extra card, which is, again, incredibly generic. It works with any leader. 1 black, actually 1 colorless, and then one Z energy. Activate battle if your battle card with energy cost of 6 or more is attacking. So any battle card, again, very generic. You place 1 card from your Z energy in the drop. You may remove this card from the game. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the owner's warp. Then choose up to one of the attacking cards, and it gets 10k power for the battle. Additionally, if you have 4 more energy at the end of the turn, play up to one of each Son Goku and Vegeta, both black, and a cost of 1 from your drop with their skills, and rest with their skills negated for the turn. So this warps something on play, gives the attacking card 6k, or sorry, 10k. That's a 6 cost or more. And then at the end of the battle, plays out 2 fusion materials for your Vegitos, which is very, very good. So the Z battle cards that come with the deck, we have the Mai, and then Super Saiyan Trunks. So Mai, 4-drop, 4k 1-drop barrier. Z stacks this Trunks underneath it, and then activate main if your leader is a black with both black card with both Goku and Vegeta, or a black Vegito card. You place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of the deck. Switch this card to rest mode, add up to 1 Vegito, then it costs a 6 or less from your deck to your hand. So you can search out any of your Vegito pieces, which is, again, very, very good. But again, this card also stacks the Trunks, which if you have a black My battle card in play, this card gets 5k power. Activate main if your opponent has 2 or more energy, play this card from under a My together with Trunks, then play up to 1 each of Goku and Trunks, both energy cost of 1 from your drop, with their skills negated for the turn. So These allow you to kind of awaken early. The Maya allows you to awaken early. The Trunks allows you to go into your fusion pieces early, which is cool. And then it gives you a 20k body for 1 energy. So it's not bad at all. So this card actually generates 2 different attacks, one from the 20k Trunks, one from one of the Vegitos that you're going to end up making off of the pieces. Now we need fusion materials. So we have Vegeta and Goku. Help has arrived. Both of these do the exact same thing, just in reverse. So Goku plays Vegeta, Vegeta plays Goku. They're played in active mode with their skills negated for the game. And then shuffle your deck if you look through it. You play them from the drop or the deck. And then each card has the same effect. When this card attacks, it gains 6k power for the battle, but then also you take a life. So it's pretty cool. So the idea of this is that you play one to play the other, and then you swing with the one that you played to take a life, and then you combo the other one from your deck. So this allows you to feel your Z energy, and then if the other one dies, it dies, right? If it doesn't die, then you have it on board, right? But then it at least allows you to go into your fusion material for next turn, because you can play the Trunks, and then you can play one of each of the Goku or the Vegetas from your drop area. Very, very good skill, I feel like. I think this is a very good thing to have, and you're probably gonna run both at max. There is a Vegeta super combo that came out with this, and then there's a Goku skillless battle card that both cost 2. I see no point in running those cards. The Vegeta super combo is pretty 4 or less, and then the Goku's a skillless battle card. We're not going to run either one of those cards. There's no point, unfortunately. So the Trunks doesn't play it, and neither does Final Kamehameha, so it's like, why have that card in the deck, right? So we're just not going to run that. Then we have the Vegitos. So we have 3 different Vegito cards. We have Beyond Shining, Ultimate Battle, and All Around Warrior. For one, Ultimate Battle and All Around Warrior actually come out in the set. Beyond Shining is the only card that comes out with the starter deck. So Beyond Shining, all 3 of these cards, Union Patora, they're all limit 1s, and they all can only use Goku and Vegeta battle cards that are black. So you can't use any other Goku Vegeta battle cards for different colors to use for these Union Patora skills. Beyond Shining can be played on any turn. Vegito Ultimate Battle can be played on any turn. All Around Warrior can only be played if you have 2 or more. If your opponent has 2 or more energy. So if they go first, you'll be able to play this turn 2. Okay. So Beyond Shining, 20k deflect, activate main for 1 black. If you have a Final Kamehameha in your battle area, switch this card to active mode. So this card you can switch to active mode, so essentially a dual attacker. Then if you battle, if your black Vegito card, if your black Vegito card is in a battle, use up to 1 card from under this card in a combo with skills negated for the turn. So this is on activate main, activate battle on either turn. If a Vegito card is in a battle, which means your leader as well, you can actually combo a card from underneath this to go up to 20k. You also can use this on attack, so you can actually make your leader a 20k, and then use this card to combo up to 25. It's very cool, but you get 2 combo pieces out of this card for 0 cost, which is very good. And then you can use those Gokus to now recycle to go into your other Vegito cards, which is pretty devastating. We have the Ultimate Battle. You pay 1 for this card. This is a 20k deflect double strike. If you have a Final Kamehameha in your battle area, when this card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to the warp. Then auto, if you have 4 more energy and you place 2 cards from under this card in the drop, when this card attacks, your opponent sends 1 card from their hand to their warp. This card gets 10k for the turn. Switch this card to activate at the end of the battle. So you can swing this. So for basically for 2 energy, you can swing this card. You will if you tap another energy, you pitch both cards from underneath this, and then you warp a card from your opponent's hand. This card becomes a 30k double striker for that attack, and then restands at the end of the battle, so then you have another 30k double strike, which is, again, very good for essentially 2 energy. For 1 energy, you have a spot removal for anything that has deflect, and now it's a 20k double striker for 1 energy that draws you a card, so that is very good. And then Super Saiyan Vegito All Around Warrior. This is a 20k deflect blocker. Permanent if you have a Final Kamehameha in your battle area, and this card would be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd. Place 2 cards from this card in the under this card in the drop instead. So all of these cards have ways of removing the cards from underneath them, so that we can recycle those cards for other effects. So this card has a built-in the defense once per turn, which is very good against green. You play this, your opponent charismatics, and then you just pitch the 2 cards from underneath, and then this card stays. And then also when this card's played, you the warp of 5 or less. And it's a 20k blocker. So there's a lot of good effects out of all 3 of these cards. So this is a very, very, I would say, cheap engine to run. And over time, as we get more Goku and Vegetas, this deck will get even better because now we'll have more targets to play. So that's kind of like, I think the main thing with this deck is that small engine. So we're actually going to go into the deck portion of the video and give you guys sort of a template you guys can use to build a basic Vegito deck and see what you guys think. Okay, so I went with the most basic build of Vegito that I could think of. Again, there are a lot of different ways of building this deck. There are red Vegito cards that work very well with this deck. There are blue Vegito cards that work very well with this deck. So you can kind of mix and match and play around with it. It's going to obviously depend on the meta, but this deck has a lot of flexibility as a black deck. Probably some of the most flexibility as a black deck that we've seen, other than maybe, I don't know, trying to think of one. Cumber has a ton of flexibility, especially going into the next set. Trunks has a decent amount of flexibility. This deck being able to be another deck that doesn't have to rely on Overwhelm makes me really like it. So we have the 1-drop Vegeta and Goku. We're gonna max out 4 of those. Should be no question. The idea is that turn 1, you can play one of these guys to then play the other one on board, and then next turn you can either combo them off, or you can use one and use it for an attacker. You can do whatever you want. But then once you get one of those in your Z deck, or in your Z energy, turn 2, you'll play a Mai. You'll Z stack the Trunks. You can awaken then if you would like, and then you can use. You can play out the Trunks, which would then play out both Goku and Vegetas, and now you can play out a Patora off of that Trunks effect. Right, it's pretty good. However, we do want to make sure that we can actually hit these cards. And later on in the game too, we might not even have a Goku or Vegeta in our deck or in our hand to play. So the Vegito Polymorphic Patora allows us to play out the Goku and Vegeta from our drop or our deck, which is pretty powerful. So essentially this card, you pitch this card from your hand, you get to play out a Goku and a Vegeta from your deck or your drop that costs 2 or less with their skills negated you just negate their skills. And then you can't play non-Vegito battle cards for the turn, so that is kind of one of the problems, that you can only use this if you're going into a Vegito target. You can't then play other things off of it. So has some weakness to it, right? So you might not even end up using this card. But I found with doing some test hands that it's helpful to have. You might run this as a one of, might not run it at all. But it is another target to essentially allow you to get into your Vegito pieces. So I think it's a pretty decent card to have. And then if the worst comes to worst, you can always just Z-charge it. Then we have the Vegito targets here. So I ran 3 of the multi-battle of the Ultimate Battle just because of space, but also because this card costs 2 to do a lot of effects. So there might be times where you're not actually going to have this card. I like these 2, Ultimate All-Around Warrior and Beyond Shining, because they are free. And we do have to pay an energy to go into having the Patoras on board anyways, so paying 2 to go into one of these guys later in the game is fine. Early in the game, probably not so much, so that's why we only ran 3 of the Ultimate Battle. But Beyond Shining and All Around Warrior we put as a 4 of, just so that it's a free play. We don't want to, or technically a 1-cost play if we have to play a Goku or Vegeta that turn. So we have 4 Evil Saiyan. This is the super combo we're going to run. I think this is probably the better super combo to run, especially if you're going to end up running other colors. Because you charge a non-black card, the Super Saiyan Vegeta super combo becomes dead. You can no longer use it. So having the ability to use this, you have a Z battle card in play, which you will with Mai, or you'll have 2 Z energy. You can combo this card and draw the card, and it's always a 10k combo, meaning you can actually use it when you're at higher life totals. I think it's a good target to use. Also searchable again off of the front side of the leader. We have 4 Trunks, Duty of the Time Patrol. This is another card we can use turn 1. So we do actually run a Unison in the deck, which we run the Bardock here. So these cards obviously kind of go together. Trunks searches out 4 or less Saiyans or a 2-drop Unison, so you can use this guy turn 1 as well. We also are running 3 of the Bardock Unisons, so that we have a Unison has draw power for it. We have a Floodgate built into it as well. But just having another target we can use later on in the game. Having Unison, having just a strong +1 Unison that draws a card every turn, just gonna continue to keep our hand size up going into the late game. Gohan here, I kind of flashed it a little bit, but this card is searchable off both the Trunks and the leader side. Just a good utility black card. You're going to run it in any deck, any black deck, you're going to run this card in moving forward. Basically, since this card was released, you should run this in every black deck. It's a good floodgate. I'm sorry, it's a good negate that you can use from the drop or the warp. Also can snipe 4 or lesses, which is probably my favorite part about the card, is I'll use it to combo, and then I'll tap 1 to warp a 4 or less. You're going to use it, you're going to catch people off guard with it, so definitely a good card to have. Then we have the one-ofs, Super Saiyan Vegeta and Super Saiyan Gohan. So these are 2 of our overrealms. We're not using a lot of overrealm in this deck, but this is just a good target to use. You can use Goku, basically grab any of your other cards, and then you also have the Vegito. If you have a Goku in play, you can play it for 1, warp something, and it's a 30k crit. So you get 2 30k swings for 1 energy. 2 Support of the Dark Empire, 2 petrifications. These is kind of standard in every black deck. For good defensive stuff, especially petrification is just continuing to get better every format. We have 3 of the new Super Saiyan cumbers, Salient Fury. So if you have a cumber in your drop area, you can play this card from your hand, and then you absorb that card, you warp a battle card, ignoring barrier with less than the cards in your Z deck, and then if you have 4 more energy, you can pitch the card underneath this to gain double strike. So it's a 1-drop, remove anything almost, and then also gain double strike. 2 Super Saiyan Cumber Berserk Barrage, since we're a black leader. It's another card you can run. Your opponent has 2 more battle cards. You play it for 2, you draw, and you give everything servant on board as much as you want, and then you either gain dual attack, double strike, or triple strike. It's a Cumber card as well, so you can use it for the 7 drops effect. Just another battle card that doesn't revolve around Overrealm, so I think it's a good target to have. 2 Super Kamehameha for defense, 1 Evil Saiyan Secret Rare. So I think this Secret Rare, this and the new Cumber Secret Rare, are going to be kind of what people are going to be playing in most black decks. I think both are very good. I think both have their own advantages, but I think having the ability to take somebody down from 2 to 1 or from 3 to 2 and then killing them off a double strike or off a single strike is, bar none, I think it's still the best Secret Rare you're going to be playing in black. I like the other one. I'm going to end up getting it at some point and testing with it. I think it's very powerful. But I'm just a little biased to this card. I think I'll always be biased to this card. This card's my favorite. Then we have 2 Cumber Furious Frenzy, another Cumber card we can use for the 7-drop, but also just the 1-drop body that can lock any battle card down, give it servant, and then swings for twice. Searchable off the front side of the leader because it's a 6-cost Saiyan. It's good. It's just a good utility card. I think you're gonna play it in probably most of the black decks that are coming out in the next set, and probably just in most black decks in general for the next format. I think this card it's kind of found its place as just a good generic 1-drop, and black doesn't have a ton of those that are non-archetype locks, so having a good 1-drop that locks something down and swings twice is pretty good. And then we have 2 Power Bursts. So the one thing I found is that because we do run some Overrealm, and you can run heavier Overrealm builds, warping away your 1-drops and not having access to them does kind of suck. So with the Power Burst, we can get back either one of these targets from the warp. So that way we always have a target available. I think is just good to have. So we do run quite a bit of negates. We technically have 8 negates in the deck, but I think that's okay. That's okay. We do have the Z deck here. So we have 2 Mai. So I did 2 Mai because Mai is not once per turn, and Mai is not unique. So we can have multiple Mai's on board, and we can just use this to then grab other Vegito targets. That way we always have access to a Z battle card in case we need to use our super combos. 1 Surmounting, so we can go down from 6 to 5 since we do awaken at 6, which is kind of a problem. Same problem with Cumber, so you have to make sure you can go down to 5 safely, so then you can use your token negates, or go down to 4 so you have access to your super combos in most cases, right? This is more so since we will sometimes get stuck at 6 life. We have our super combo that doesn't care about life, But this card allows us to go down so we can use our token gates. 2 final Kamehamehas, just because we will use it at some point during the game, and then we can use it, we can basically play another one, so we're making sure we're drawing off of our union effects. 1 Trunks, this can probably go, this in Vegito, so Surmounting is a card you can potentially take out and add another Trunks, so then you can always have access to another Trunks if you would like to. I just don't think outside of your Awakened turn it's probably very good to play this combination. That's completely up to you. And we have one of the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku cross-dimensional fighting spirits, a 25k double strike essentially that warps a battle card for 1 energy is good. You can also play Boo. Boo's also a good target too. I think now we have a lot of flexibility for black decks when it comes to Z battle cards between this and Boo. So that's enough generic that we potentially need, and they're both 1-drops. So deck is 52. So that is a screenshot there of the deck. You guys want to look at it. But as always, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will share some different videos. Probably gonna have a really long deck building video for Vegito, where we just break down the other variations of Vegito, because there's like 3 or 4 more that I've built. This one I think is the least complex, least complicated build, so you guys can look at this and get kind of an idea of how to build the deck starting off with, and then you can kind of dive into the other Vegito pieces and see if you guys like that stuff. So as always, thank you guys for supporting the channel, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.